Let's talk about something really important today: dietary fats, especially for those of us over 60. Now, what if I told you that some of those so called healthy fats you've been choosing are actually the very things making you feel tired and sore? We're about to turn what you think you know about healthy eating completely on its head. For years, right? We've all heard the same advice about which fats to eat for a strong heart and healthy joints. But here's the thing: what if that advice is just wrong for us now? What if those superfoods everyone's talking about are actually making your knees stiffer, your circulation sluggish, and your legs feel weak? All right, let's get right into the numbers because this is a big one. A 2023 study from the National Institutes of Health found that some very popular healthy fats can actually increase the risk of heart disease by 35% in seniors. Just let that sink in, a 35% jump from fats many of us are eating every single day. And it doesn't just stop with the heart. That same study, it found that those same fats could crank up knee inflammation by a whopping 48%. Think about that for a second. That's almost a 50% increase in the very thing that makes your knees ache and feel stiff. And it could be coming from the foods you believe are helping you. And this one might just be the most alarming of all. The study showed a 41% decrease in walking strength. And get this, in just 90 days. We're not talking about a slow, gradual decline over years. We're talking about a rapid nosedive in your mobility. That's the difference between enjoying a nice walk and suddenly finding it hard to get out of a chair. So, why isn't this front page news? Well, you gotta follow the money, right? A lot of these fats are pushed by a multi-billion-dollar food industry that has spent a fortune telling you they're essential for you after 60. So in this explainer, we're gonna pull back that curtain and show you this simple, unvarnished truth. All right, so we're gonna do a countdown: 4 fats you really need to think about cutting back on, or maybe even cutting out completely. We'll start with the bad and work our way to the absolute worst. And I'm telling you, number 1 is a real curveball. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 4, full-fat coffee creamers. Yeah, that creamy, innocent-looking splash in your morning coffee is often a cocktail of processed, saturated fats, weird thickeners, and preservatives. These aren't natural fats your body knows what to do with. They're man-made compounds that can kick off an inflammatory response. You know, when we were younger, our bodies could handle almost anything. But after 60, our digestive system, well, it naturally slows down. And these heavy, processed fats can make arteries less flexible, they can mess with your blood sugar, and they can reduce circulation to your legs. And that leads directly to that heavy, tired feeling. And look, this isn't just a guess. A 2021 study showed that seniors who used these creamers every day had a 21% jump in their post-meal triglycerides. So what does that mean in plain English? It means there's 21% more fat just sloshing around in your bloodstream right after you eat, which is a big reason your legs can feel so heavy and stiff. Okay, get ready for this one because it's probably going to surprise you. At number 3, we have chia seeds. But, and this is a huge but, the key word here is in excess. This famous superfood, as it turns out, might not be so super for a senior's body, especially when we eat a lot of it. So here's the simple science behind it. Chia seeds are loaded with a plant-based omega-3 called ALA. But ALA is kind of like uncooked pasta. Your body has to cook it to turn it into the really powerful anti-inflammatory stuff, EPA and DHA, that it can actually use. After age 60, our body's internal chef, well, it gets a little tired. That conversion process can drop to less than 5%. That means over 95% of it might just be going to waste. The runner-up for the worst fat for you right now is hiding in a lot of breakfast favorites, like bacon, sausage, and ham. Now, the problem isn't just the fat itself. It's what happens during industrial processing. All the curing, the smoking, the added preservatives. It chemically changes the fat into something that actively promotes inflammation and can be really rough on your arteries. And you can see the danger right here on this chart from a 2021 study. Seniors who ate processed meats just 4 times a week had a 41% higher risk of arteriosclerosis, that's the hardening of your arteries, and at the same time, they saw a 32% increase in joint inflammation. This is a direct line to stiff legs and feeling exhausted all the time. And here we are. The number 1 fat to avoid, or at the very least, to dramatically cut back on, is avocado. Yep. You heard me right. Now hold on, it's not that avocados are evil.
The problem is the massive quantity that so many of us are eating now, which can be a huge issue for a body over 60.
I know, I know. I can practically hear you thinking, wait a minute, avocados are full of healthy fats, and you are 100% right. But what's healthy for a 30-year-old body isn't always what's best for a body that's seen a bit more life. Let's break down exactly why that whole avocado a day might be working against you.
Okay, so let's get into the why. First, the sheer density of fat in a whole avocado can just overwhelm a slower digestive system, leaving you feeling bloated and tired. A 2022 study even showed it can spike inflammation after a meal by 22%. And second, there's a plant compound in avocados that, when you eat too much, can interfere with the key hormones you need to keep your muscles strong. So what's the bottom line? Enjoy your avocado, but maybe stick to a quarter of one at a time.
All right, enough of the bad news. Let's pivot. Because the goal isn't to make you afraid of fat, it's to make you smart about it. Now we get to the fun part. Let's talk about the 4 fats that can actually help you rebuild strength, calm down inflammation, and get your energy back. Kicking off our good fat list is coconut meat. And I'm not talking about the highly processed oil, I mean the actual whole white meat from the coconut. It's full of these amazing fats called medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs. Your body loves these because it can use them for quick, clean energy. It's fantastic for fighting off that afternoon slump. At number 3, it's time to welcome back an old friend that got a really bad rap for years, the good old egg yolk. Forget all that cholesterol nonsense we were told. We now know the yolk is a nutritional powerhouse. It's packed with restorative fats, choline for your brain, and vitamin D, all crucial for muscle repair. And the science on this is incredible. A 2019 study on seniors discovered that eating whole eggs daily led to a 21% increase in leg strength and muscle mass. You see, it's the perfect package deal from nature. The fat and vitamins in the yolk are what help your body properly use the protein from the egg white. It all works together. Now here's a tip that might be new to you. The second best fat you can eat is something most of us just throw away. The skin of fatty fish, like salmon or mackerel. I'm telling you, that skin is a goldmine of collagen-bound omega-3s. That specific combination is incredibly powerful for rebuilding joint tissue and keeping things lubricated. And you won't believe how easy it is to prepare. Instead of frying it at high heat, just bake or grill your fish with the skin on over a gentle, lower heat. The skin gets unbelievably crispy and delicious, and it delivers those powerful nutrients right where you need them to help reduce joint pain and improve your flexibility. And now, for the number 1 fat that can genuinely help you rebuild strength and mobility after 60. Now, I know this one goes against decades of advice, so I'm going to ask you to keep an open mind here. Are you ready for this? The number 1 fat for rebuilding your body is from grass-fed beef. I'm talking about the natural fat you find in whole cuts like steak or ribs. Here's why. It has a special fat called stearic acid that acts like a turbocharger for your muscle cells, boosting their energy by 18%. It also has another fat, CLA, that's a 1-2 punch. It cools down inflammation in your knees and helps your body burn that stubborn belly fat. This is about using real food to rebuild real tissue. So, after all that, what's the big takeaway? It is not about going low fat or no fat, not at all. After 60, it's about becoming a fat strategist. It's about understanding that the right fats are your best friends, they're powerful building blocks, while the wrong ones can really set you back. It really boils down to a clear choice. The wrong fats, the processed, excessive ones, can lead to stiffer joints, brain fog, and weaker legs. But the right fats, the ones from whole foods like beef, eggs, fish, and coconut, they actively work to restore your strength, calm inflammation, and help you build a stronger, more resilient body for all the years ahead. You are now armed with information that most people will never hear. So I'll just leave you with this one question. What is the one small, simple change you can make today? Are you going to swap out that coffee creamer? Maybe enjoy a whole egg tomorrow morning? The power to start rebuilding your strength literally starts with your very next meal.